I'm pretty much just going to be hanging out doing stuff in the shop, so things will get loud, whatever. Just going to do whatever. I'm not doing anything specific. Hang out while I'm doing random stuff. I'll be back and forth and around, just whatever random stuff. Working on lots of different little projects. I'm going to turn on the fan and the sander. By the way, if you have a dust collection system, I highly recommend this little trick. It makes it so you can hook this pretty much anywhere. Like if you see my sander over here, you can. It makes it so I can just go like this, hook it on there, and then sand away. Anybody joins in and sees this and wants to try and guess what these are for. hot. It's supposed to rain later and be even hotter tomorrow. So, still working on these. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna put them in stacks of 5 to make them easier to count. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 12 so far. This costume that these are for, again, any guesses? There are 32 of these that I need to make, and I have 12 so far. 20 more to go. That's not bad. The master was a 3D print and then resin print, and I molded it, cast a couple. Actually, I made 3 molds of the master because I need to make so many of them, but I didn't want to print and clean up a bunch, so I made a bunch of little molds so I can do like 3 at a time, speed things along. Also, because it's so tiny, like it's really hard to get a good resin mix on something that small. Just working on a bunch of random shit today. Some secret projects on the table down here, so that's why the camera's up a little bit. But not everything on the table is a secret project. I'll put the dust collector on again. Curious how loud that is for people watching. Maybe if somebody actually shows up and watches, let me know. Doing this isn't a secret project. Doing a set of our armor bits. So they look all crappy and black, right? So what I do with these, what we do with these is these are cold cast resin. I should explain this while the thing's off. So we do these, they're cold cast resin with aluminum powder. We just take cheap black acrylic paint, put them all over it, and then we do the steel wool. This is for finished ones, obviously. We take steel wool apart, and voila! So you get the nice shiny stuff, and then it leaves, you know, some random black stuff as weathering. Pretty easy. My favorite ways to do like just weathered cold cast pieces, especially if they don't need anything else, if it's just a metallic finish. So, you know, it stays down in all the recesses. This part gets painted gold on this piece, but other than that, and I just do that with where'd my paint go? I think I put it back on the shelf, but just gold acrylic paint that's a little that has some translucency to it because the base is shiny metal already, so it just basically needs to kind of color it gold. And the sides. Up in all the crevices, especially if you just do the steel wool over top of it. That piece is all done except for the gold paint. Same thing with this piece. Same thing. I just slop on black paint, wait for it to dry. Like I painted these last night. The reason the dust collection is on down here, and again that clamp trick, I just clamp it to the edge of the table so it's right down there. If you haven't done steel wool, used it for anything, when you're rubbing on this stuff, the little metallic fibers, steel fibers come off and they make a giant mess, so I usually just do it right over the open dust collection too. for right now. You know, I'm doing this on my phone, so it's weird. It says people are watching, but also doesn't show anything in the chat room. I don't know if that's because nobody's talking. You know, you would think, like, I can't click on the chat room to actually say anything. It's kind of bizarre. I guess maybe somebody else has to say something before I can. Weird, but you know, whatever. I'm also working on one of these guys. This is the necklace from the Dragon Prince. With these, what I do, you can see on the back because I haven't painted the back. So they're printed with clear resin on the resin printer and then tinted the right color. So these are purple, but you can, there's no light behind me. You can see that they're, it is translucent, I promise. Then I paint the silver, and then when it's all done, I clear coat it, and then all of like the translucent part really gets all shiny and pretty. And for the metal part on that, for a lot of stuff, these are really awesome paints. Always glare, everything with the glare. It's the Folk Art brushed metal paints. I really love these things. I use it for that, and I can never find my paints. This is what happens when you decide that you're gonna be good and have like an actual cleaning schedule where you like clean up and put things away. And then of course, then you can't find the things when you need them. At least that's my problem. No, it's your problem. Well, anyway, there's a darker metal one, and that's the one that I use for the armor helmets. But, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Just finished mopping.
Cool.
Mopping. People see? Okay, no, they
Can they see you? Yeah, you're back there.
can't. Oh no, they can see me. I'm wondering if they can see.
What I'm doing?
No.
Oh.
I don't want them to see that.
Yeah, could you bring me your phone when you get a chance, or unless you have it on you?
I do not have it on me, and yes, I can bring it to you.
I just want to see, like, if you log into
Twitch, what you look like.
Twitch from the other side.
Yeah.
Because I can never tell, like, because, like, I can see the chat room, but I can't click on it and actually type
Okay.
for some reason. I don't know if that's just because nobody is in the chat room or what. But you would think, like, I could actually just... What was she doing? You would think, like, I would at least be able to just put something in the chat room, whether anybody else is talking or not, so there would be, like, messages there when people actually go in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you.
I'm pretty sure you can do, like, it does that on the computer, but I think...
I don't know. I stopped watching Twitch a while ago. I don't know much about its functionality, so.
Well, especially from this side. But I think I would like to, at least, if not later today, before tomorrow, put the computer back out here and hook that up.
Okay.
For doing this, because it's just easier and the
Why didn't you
interface
say
is better.
so in the first place? We can go get it. It's on the counter. And
Well,
we have a tray for it to sit on.
I know. Well, I need to clear a space because it's all, the spot where it was is now full of random stuff. Well, I didn't say so before because I didn't think this would be a problem. I mean, it works. I just don't know if the chat part is working. That's why I wanted to log on your phone as a viewer and see. Because if there are people in there and they are saying anything, I don't want them to be ignored because I'm not ignoring them. I just can't see it. You know?
Yep.
So if you are in the chat and you are listening, I'm not ignoring you. It's just not showing up for me.
Use your force powers. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my phone.
Thank you. I've even closed it and reopened the chat part and it doesn't, there's nothing. It's just, it's empty and no keyboard or text box pops up. It's really annoying. which of course is why I should be using the computer, but it wasn't out here, and I didn't feel like dealing with it today. At least not right now. Wanted to get to work. You log in?
Yes. I'm already in, because it...
Oh, there it goes. Now it says 2. That must be you. Is there anything in the chat?
Here, this is for you.
You send a message?
No, why is it...
What's for me?
Here.
Did you say something? Oh, there you go.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see that now, but I still can't. See, I can give you a timeout. I can ban you. I can copy your message, delete your message, or what's user actions? Oh, yeah, I can ban you, report you, timeout you, or unmod you, which I don't want to do any of those things. I wanted to talk to you. Look, see, if I click on the chat, nothing.
Well, so here's the thing. I think you speaking is you chatting. There's no chat function on your end because presumably your hands are busy and you're talking.
Yeah, but like on the desktop version, like you can chat with the people chatting, you know what I mean? Like you can type in the chat window.
Right.
It's just weird to me, but whatever.
It's also, wow.
Hmm?
It's weird coming back around and being like, oh, hey, there's my face.
Oh, are you watching from earlier?
Well, it's the lag just caught up, so it's got like a 10-second delay.
Gotcha. First of all, you don't. Second of all, you know, everyone can hear you when you say those sorts of things. Just because you're standing over there doesn't mean people can't hear you.
I'm the only one here.
You know people can go and watch the whole thing later though, right?
Damn it. Whatever.
So anything you say or do on camera is there forever.
Great.
Well, not even on camera, just with an earshot.
That's awesome.
Oh, perfect time to stop disparaging yourself while you're out here. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, you should stop disparaging yourself all the time. But at the very least, out here, if you don't want people to hear it.
Point taken.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how good the mic is on here, how much stuff it picks up in the background.
Guess we'll find out. I love you.
I love you. It's so hot. It's miserable. I need to cast some stuff, but I'm worried about the temperature. It's also only going to get worse. I should probably go do that now before it gets even hotter and more unbearable. And everything kicks too fast and I can't get anything even into a mold. Speaking of which, if you are new to molding and casting, or you haven't tried it, or if it's something you want to try, the recommended temperatures, like when they say, like, make sure it's between this and this, I don't know what the low end is. we don't really ever need to worry about that. But the high end is like 72 degrees. If it is over 72 degrees, especially on some of the faster like resins and things, you need to take it seriously. Because I cannot tell you how many times I've been trying to pour something into a mold and halfway into it, the resin kicks too much and you have a half-filled mold and half a cup of plastic because it kicked too fast. Of course, then it's all just garbage. And you have to wait for it to finish. Well, depends on the mold, but 9 times out of 10, what that means is that your pour spout is now plugged with cured resin and half of your mold is empty, so you can't even like quickly mix up another batch and try and fill the rest of your mold because you can't. So then it's all garbage and you have to start all over. So temperature is definitely important. It's not just one of those things that the manufacturer puts on there for no good reason. And yeah, especially if it's a mold that has a lot of fine details or is thin and like so that the resin flows slowly, it's more susceptible. Obviously, also if it's a lot of resin, the more stuff you have in your cup, the faster it cures. The thicker and bigger a part is, the faster it cures. That includes while it's sitting in your cup. That's because it's an exothermic reaction. And so it generates heat, and then the heat that it generates furthers the process along, which generates more heat, etc., etc. So it's actually, if you want to intentionally speed up the process, applying heat is helpful. And if you want to intentionally slow down the process, doing it when it's colder is actually good. Like I've intentionally waited until it was super cold out here to cast some things where I knew I needed a little bit of extra work time than the resin normally allowed. So I like turned off, like during the winter, I'll turn off the heat and wait until it's nighttime and cold and then do certain things. Obviously, if it's too cold, it'll take a really long time. You don't want that. Or maybe you do. I don't know. But probably not. There we go. Just needs to dry and then the clear coat. And then in the meantime, oh, that's all dried out. Okay. Where's my water? This is an indispensable shop tool. Cheap water, spray water bottles. Use it all the time for lots of things, especially with like weathering and whatnot. It's good for moistening and cleaning stuff off, but also when you just need a little bit of water for like cleaning your brushes, it's nice because I can just spritz them in a little cup like that and swish, 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 and we're rinsed. Now I'm going to switch over and do the gold paint on this other thing that I was doing. If I can find a brush. Oh yeah, so this is the paint I was talking about. It's the golden iridescent gold deep fine. So you can see it has, oh, maybe you can't. There you go. You can see one of the cool things about the golden paints is they have the little splotch on there so you can see how translucent something is. Yeah, so what I usually do is I do two coats on these. I do one in one direction and then the second coat in the other direction just to give it some texture and variation. But yeah, just a little tiny bit of paint. Kind of just dry brush it on there. And you can see that it's still getting a lot of the metallic from underneath the paint showing through, which is exactly what I want. This is the other reason why I do the black underneath, and then I do do this, so you can actually see, even because again it's translucent, so you can see it doesn't look super gold. I mean, it's golder than this, but that's why I do a second coat. But because it has that translucency to it, see, even with these edges that are painted gold, you still see some of that black weathering coming through. Some right there. So it just gives it, not to circle back again, it adds some depth to your weathering. Oh, so what else am I working on over here? Secret project. Doing some Jane Foster Thor parts for somebody. I'm gonna go over to that table and cast some stuff before it gets too hot, but I will be right back. This is the other thing, the other reason why I want to get the computer out here, because the computer has the webcams, and then we can switch back and forth between the tables versus with my phone and it being mounted. You have a little arm that it's mounted on over there, but there's a thing in between the two tables, and the arm isn't long enough to reach all the way back over here, so I can't really switch between tables with just the phone. But that will not be a problem tomorrow when I do this, and I will be doing this again tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do it as many days as I can, working on that affiliate status, but we've been trying to like figure out, okay, what's a good schedule, let's plan some content for it. But I think, and we're gonna still do that, but I think in general, like, we spend hours a day in here in the shop working, and I think we're gonna just try to, as much as we can, when we're working out here, turn on the stream, people can come and go, we'll come and go. I mean, if we're gonna be gone for an extended period of time versus like grabbing a snack or something, we'll turn it off, obviously, but because why not? And then people can come and go and hang out and chat whenever they want, drop in for a few minutes, say hi, whatever. Just make it like a cool hangout most of the time, but then we'll still do specific tutorials or walkthroughs or whatever. I was really hoping that you could Twitch stream the Switch, because I would love to do Breath of the Wild, but apparently for that you need a capture card, you have to hook it up to your computer, and that's way too much effort just to play a game on Twitch for me, on the Switch. Especially since I don't know how much I'll actually get to play it. But, you know. We got plenty of other content to stream on here. casting up some parts over here. That sound you hear is me smacking the mold because I'm powdering them because these are all cold cast parts. But these parts are for a somewhat secret project that hopefully we can reveal in probably going to be a couple of weeks before what it's for actually gets released, and then we can actually talk about it. But it's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool. But yeah, you're just gonna have to be patient, you know, and wait, because that's all I can tell you for right now. Sorry. Tell ya. We don't get a lot of really cool opportunities at this point. Hopefully that'll change, but you know, every once in a while let's be honest, every once in a while we luck into something really cool like this project, and I'm really stoked about it. So I can't wait till we can actually share it with everybody. I mean, as our studio, as far as our studio goes, this is like the coolest project that we've gotten to work on so far. Especially because it's not a typical thing that we have gotten to work on before. I know there's lots of vague randomness in all of what I'm saying, but that's, like I said, we can't talk about it yet. But hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. It's pretty cool though. Kind of funny. We have like a handful of secret projects that we're working on right now for various people and things. I'll give you a tiny sneak preview of one of the things we're making for one of the secret projects, because just seeing this part, some people will know what this thing is, but it doesn't tell you anything about the project. But I'm pretty happy with this. It's pretty cool. Oh, what's that? I don't know. Yeah, so that's one project. Another thing that we're doing is we're actually, hey, shocker, don't be racist. We've been pretty vocal about our anti-racism stance and that Black Lives Matter. And one of the things, we would love to be able to do more protesting and donating, but we don't have a lot of money, so we can't do a lot of donations, and we have kids, so it's really hard to go protest. Oh, hey Ben, when you have kids. And so we've been doing some stuff, teaming up with some Black creators and basically donating time and energy into helping them with projects. We figured that's something that we can do that's within our means. So we have one project that's sitting right here, I can't show you, that's really cool, and I can't wait for it to be done. Another project for another creator, we modeled and made a master and a mold for some keychains for her thing. That's all I can say. But hopefully she'll be releasing those soon, and then we can share it more. But I would love to do more and team up with people and stuff more to be able to do projects like that, because I think it's important to just use our platform, as little as it is, to help out and amplify voices that don't get heard as often. So cool. All right, I'm gonna be over there casting, but I'm still gonna be talking, so you'll still hear me. yeah, so got a couple of pieces to go with that piece that I just showed you. That's one of the pieces, and there's 3 other pieces that go with it. Which, if you recognize that part, makes total sense. If you didn't recognize that part, then it doesn't really give you any more information. It's a mystery. It's kind of funny because I started this project, and one thing that I try not to do is to look at reference pictures once I've gotten, like anymore, once I've gotten to a certain point on a project. And so with this project specifically, this started a while ago, and there's several versions of this thing out there from different shows, movies, whatever. And so with the references I had at the time, what I like to do is kind of do my own thing and put my own touch on designs, even if I'm replicating something, especially because, like I said, the references from all the different versions of this thing are different. So there's not a canon definitive design for this object. And so there's no reason not to put my own spin on it. But I heard that there are now more reference pictures available for the newest version of this thing, but I have not gone and looked for them because I don't want to see references for something that I have already made at this point, because then I will inevitably want to change mine, and I don't want to do that. I mean, I might later, but for now, I'm not going to change mine because I'm almost done with it. I don't know. Can you hear me when I'm way over there talking? I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully, because otherwise I'm talking to myself. Which isn't really a big deal, I guess, because I do that all the time. I'll do the second coat on this while I'm over here real quick. And like I said, the second coat I do the other direction for 2 reasons. One, it makes it look less like there's brush strokes since I'm hand brushing these. And 2, I know you know what word I'm going to say if you're listening, because it's like our mantra now. It adds depth. So yeah, so I'll show you this here in a sec. I totally forgot that I put on a pot of coffee before I came out here. And where's my... I clearly didn't bring anything out here with me to drink. And yeah, I know I keep complaining about how hot it is, and then I'm talking about drinking coffee, but you know, you gotta drink the coffee. I mean, I know there's plenty of people who don't. I just can't function without it. So yeah, there you go. Pew, 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 pew. So you can see now you see the gold a little bit better, and it doesn't just look like it's painted on, because it has that multi-directional texture to it, so it looks more like brushed metal. I know I'm gonna show another part to that project, that secret project, especially since you're here, Ben, because I know you'll know what this is. At this point, I'm doubtful anybody that would be watching my stream would not know what this is, but just as a sneak preview. Yep. I'm pretty excited about this. It'll be really cool when it's all done. Here's the other sneak preview part. Yeah, it's not exciting because that's just the metal tube down the center. Yeah, of course you know what it is. This is my shocked face. Yeah, and I mean, it shouldn't be surprising. I am making a glow version as well. This one that I'm making right now, though, is just a static prop, but I'm gonna make my own that glows. I have 2 blades. The other one is upstairs. This one is just painted, and it needs the etching on it. The crackle and the edge stuff. But this one won't be lit. But the second blade, which is upstairs, has all the etchings and stuff done and is all prepped for lighting. Yeah, and like I said, the fact that I'm making this probably isn't a surprise because I published the models for it recently. Anyway, so I'm gonna go cast those parts. I'll be back over here. Oh, can you let me know if you can hear me while I'm talking over here, because I hope you can. Yeah, so casting these parts, oh man. You know, this is the problem with... Cool, awesome. This is the problem with using my phone for this, though. Are you on there still?
No, but I can be.
Oh.
You need me to
No,
be.
it's fine.
I just found something that you should follow. That's all.
Oh. What is it? Let me see.
This guy makes absolutely stunning artwork.
Is this guy on Instagram?
Yeah, look at Nubia that he did.
Damn.
Right? Discovering
Yeah, so this dude is called
Marcus the Visual.
Marcus the Visual, if anybody wants to check him out, but yeah, check that out. That's sweet. I don't know how to use your phone, I swear.
This is like the struggle between Android and Apple users everywhere.
There you go. Cool.
I think it had a frame because I don't want to be in frame.
She doesn't want to be on camera today. What I wanted to see though is I wanted to...
I'm in the chat. And remember, there's like a 15, 10...
Oh yeah, no, I know. What I was curious about is, because I need to look up, if you're doing molding and casting, have a Google Doc with your recipes, like how much materials you need in your mold, because I can guarantee you will be like, oh, I'll remember. And then in 6 months, when you have to cast something that you haven't cast for 6 months, you're not going to remember how much you need to put in it. So have a Google Doc with your recipes. The problem is, I can't, I need my phone to access it. And that's how you guys are seeing me. So what I'm curious of is if I switch over to Google Docs real quick, if it's going to stop streaming.
Okay.
So we're going to find out. Yeah, I never remember. I can't remember anything ever. It's terrible. ADHD.